Well, I picked up this little baby today. My little bobcat. There's the cage. I already took the cage off of it. It was on when I bought it. Started stripping her down, taking the buckets and everything off of it now. I'm taking the whole arms off. I'm going to yank the motor out of it. Probably going to go to a diesel. I got this thing for a song and a dance. I know it looks really rough right now. It's a International 3200B, or A series, I'm sorry, A series. It used to have the Wisconsin motor on it. Somebody took the head off in the middle of the woods, and she sat for 5 years. So it ran when they parked it. I don't know why they would take the head off. And if you park it and it don't start back up in the woods, it's usually the carburetor. Anyhow, so she sat for 5 years. So we drug her up on the trailer today and pulled her off. And this, instead of building a rat rod, we're gonna build a bobcat. Well, we tore into the old girl today. Wasn't planning on it, but I just wanted to clean it up a little bit first, but get it vacuumed out. But one thing led to another. Next thing you know, you got drive pumps on the ground. Oh Lord. Very complicated to take her apart. I will say that. They did not make it easy on it. But I finally got her down ready to pull. I had to pull the other head off just to find a place to hook the chains to. And then when I pulled the other head off, I found the valve just laying in there. So as for this thing running when it was parked, I don't know. She must have been making a noise when they parked her. Anywho, no biggie. Motor's pretty much completely junk. I figured on that. So now I took some preliminary measurements, and I think a Ford 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine will fit in that. I might have to notch this a little bit like a square, bring it up 2 inches, and then have it run back across. But I do believe it will fit if I go that route. I'll get it out of here first and see what I can get the drive hook to hook up to the easiest, and we'll go from there. But yeah, she doesn't look like a bobcat now. She's pretty tore down. Alright. Well, I couldn't leave well enough alone, so I came on back out, and look what's sitting on the ground now. Got the engine pulled out. Came out here with my partner in crime. He gave out on me, yeah. So the motor's definitely out of it now. Doesn't really step back and take a gander at it. Don't even look like a bobcat now. Had a crap load of stuff. To be expected, you know. 1970s model bobcat. Straightened it out quite a bit. She puked all over me, and then I found out that I'm out of kitty litter, so I'm letting her puke, and I'll cap these lines off and go to the store and get some cat litter, get that mess cleaned up. I may have found an engine to replace it. The exact engine for that with real low miles, or hours, I'm sorry, on it. Slide right back in it. If that's the case, this thing is going to be up and running really quick. All the hydraulic lines are good. I was looking at them as I was cleaning down in there. The hydraulic lines up on top obviously are just trash, so I'll make all of those. And we'll be down to cleaning and getting it ready to put the new motor in. I'll find out tomorrow about the new engine. Found out that the engine that I heard about was everything that I was told about. It is free. It was a little stuck when we first picked it up from setting. My dad lubed it down with the JB oil down the spark plugs. She's good to go. Going to get her up and running. I'll probably rebuild that carb, get it cleaned up, and then I'm going to paint it yellow. I have to change out the pulleys onto the front to the drive belt pulley right here onto it. I've already started removing that. I've already got the pump clutch out of it. I'll take the motor mounts off the bottom of this one, and I'll put them on the bottom of this one. These motors, they unbolt the motor mounts from the bottom. It's really weird. Never seen anything like that before. Probably in a day or so. I'm hoping to have her up and running. Well, last night, decided to try to get her running onto it. I did a little redneck compression check. Put my finger over that one, had compression. Finger over that one, I didn't have any compression. The same thing on the other side. So I decided to tear it apart, find out what was going on. Took the head off this side. This is not what you want to see. Plus, when you roll her over here, get the pipe wrench. No movage. I got movage on the back cylinder or the valve. So, kind of leaning for just motor junk. Still have the old base here, which is locked. I might pull the bottom half is good. What I might be able to do is pull the cylinder heads off of this, depending on how bad this cylinder head is, which is probably junk. I can always re-sleeve it or whatnot. I'm going to tear it down and see if I can't take two motors and make one. And if that isn't feasible, then it looks like I might either go get the new Kohler 26 horsepower engine, or because I'm not going to rebuild junk. Alright, so we got the motor tore down onto it, got the cylinder head off, and we have some pretty, it could have been worse. So when I pulled the cylinder head off, I found the piston was disconnected to the top of it. There's the wrist pin that was laying in. Do it. Never ever seen that happen. That's what it should look like, by the way, guys. That's the piston beside it, which is it's okay. The connecting rod itself was not broke. I just pulled the wrist pin out of the top of the piston. It did bend the connecting rod right here. You can see it. Little fun-filled fact is, according to YouTube, this is the year this motor was made. So I'm assuming 1948. I don't know. I'm not really sure about that, but that's what YouTube's telling me. Looking up inside, I'm still pulling out little chunks of piston and everything, but it doesn't look too bad up inside of it. The race that I pulled off the one piston doesn't look bad, so I don't suspect the other one will be bad. The cylinder head, on the other hand, this is not for the faint of heart. This one here is okay. It's the one I pulled the piston out of. I've seen a lot worse than that, but the one that we pulled the bad one out of, good Lord. She is really, really, really deep, both sides. So definitely going to have to do a re-sleeve on this one. No saving that, no boring out, none of that will even come close. So a total re-sleeve of that. I'll probably re-sleeve both of them. I'm going to pull the other head off the engine, and we might just do an all four job and pistons, rings, the whole deal. Just do a complete freshen. The oil pan, when we pulled it off, this is no crap. This is what I found it. I don't think they've changed the oil since 1948. That is just disgusting. So what I'm going to do, yeah. Anywho. Heads didn't look horrible underneath onto it. This one here was okay. This one here was the worst. You can guess that that's the one that was off of the broken piston side. Timing chain cover doesn't look bad. The valves don't look too horrible in them. The camshaft looks decent. You can take a quick peek down through here and you can see the cam lobes and all that right through here. These motors are set up a little different. But, I mean, that's your tappets that run on the cam, which push the valves up. You know about all that. I'm going to tear it all completely apart. We're going to do some re-sleeving onto it before I spend any money on putting the sleeves in. We're going to see if about a couple more motor choices I might have. Well, we've tore it down about as far as I'm going to take it, I believe. Got the front shaft, or got the instrument control panel off. We got the floor bed off of it. The auxiliary line, I think I'm going to do a delete. This guy right here. I don't think I'm ever going to use that again, so instead of making a new line, they've got it all rigged up here. 1700 psi pressure, and we're holding on with the hose clamps. Yeah. You do what you got to do when you're in the field. So from here, and then it ties back into yet more hose clamps. I'm hoping these are suction lines, but okay. Got actually a good bit done. The motor is over in the other garage, and I'm still hee-hawing around about rebuilding it or not. We've got the front end bucket over here. Get the bucket off of it. Got everything into the garage, and gonna be going on. I just got the bucket off. Them pins were. Bear helped me get those babies out. On getting her clean. Trying to turn out, making it look nice. We'll get the next step done. Got our first coat of yellow on. We're doing it in sections so I can get all the grease and stuff off, and if I get fish eyes in a spot I can come back and redo. But it's turning out pretty good. She's rolling right along. I'm probably going to start the pans tomorrow. The floor pan right there. I'll get it in black. I'll get that. That's going to go black onto it. This is the floor pan. And I'm going to get the engine bay black in there. And I'm just really happy with her. She's starting to turn the corner. After this painting and stuff's done, next bay is to straighten up this mess in here. Hydraulics. Perfect. We're going to do some deletion of the aux lines and fix a bunch of rigs, but to be continued. She's looking a lot better. Took full advantage of it being warm today. Drug this old girl outside this morning. Primed and painted it all up onto it. Got the first coat of paint on it anyway. Brought her back in here. She's dry now. We got the back of the seat all in primer. We got the engine cover shroud in primer. I even got this one back into primer. Floorboard is all truck bed linered up. Instrument panels in primer. And I'm totally out of primer now, by the way. Now I just got to buy a little bit more paint. Yep, one step at a time. Got the pumps in back here mocked up. They're not bolted on or anything yet. They're just cleaned up a little bit. They used to look like that one. That one's all dirty. Okay, to be continued.